Welcome to Shuchiin Academy, where only the elite roam. Think high stakes, Hogwarts. Meet the power duo, Vice Prez Kaguya and Prez Miyuki, ruling their realm like royalty while their ultimate fans, Karen and Erika, can't get enough of them. Rumor has it they're more than colleagues, but who knows? Miyuki denies it, but deep down, he believes Kaguya will eventually ask him to be her boyfriend. Kaguya, she thinks dating a commoner is beneath her, unless Miyuki begged. Half a year passes, and neither backs down. Instead of brushing it off, they decide to make each other confess first. During this tension, their secretary Chika offers 2 tickets to a romance movie she won. With a rare free weekend, Miyuki considers inviting Kaguya. Just as he's about to, Chika mentions a superstition. Couples who see a romance movie together end up together. Cue panic. Kaguya catches on, asking if he was going to invite her, heavily hinting it would be a date. Miyuki brushes off the rumors, but Kaguya knows he's interested. Just when it seems like he's backing down, he surprises her by inviting her to the movie, a move orchestrated by Chika's ticket setup. Kaguya adopts her innocent persona, challenging him to invite her with more passion. She grabs his hand, hinting at her romantic interest and ramping up the tension. Chika, sensing the moment, offers more movie tickets, flustering them both. But the moment ends when Chika takes the last steamed bun, resulting in a draw. Later, Kaguya finds a love letter in her shoebox and shares it with Chika and Miyuki. Chika believes it's a date invitation, while Miyuki criticizes men who pursue love. When Kaguya says she might accept, Miyuki is unsettled, realizing that stopping her would reveal his own feelings. However, Kaguya is bluffing. Her standards for a date are high. A battle of wits begins. Miyuki, as student council president, tries to forbid the date, threatening to report her. Kaguya counters, saying she'll accept even if it gets her expelled, leaving Miyuki shocked. Miyuki, in a heated back and forth with Kaguya, offers to confess his love to her as part of the argument. They both begin questioning the authenticity of Kaguya's supposed feelings for her admirer. Things escalate, and Chika, flustered and emotional, steps in. She embraces Kaguya, confessing her own feelings and begging her not to be expelled. Later, Miyuki and Kaguya see a couple sharing a moment, which unsettles Kaguya. Back in the student council room, she criticizes the scene, while Miyuki shrugs it off and pulls out his lunch. Kaguya, intrigued by Miyuki's meal, but too proud to ask for a taste, watches as Chika compliments the lunch and asks to try it. Miyuki agrees, and Chika praises the food, prompting a scornful look from Kaguya, which Miyuki misinterprets as criticism. He offers Chika more food, leading Kaguya to recall the special times she shared with Chika. The next day, Kaguya brings an extravagant lunch, hoping to trade with Miyuki and appear gracious. However, the plan backfires. Miyuki, sensing her intensity, eats his lunch quickly and rushes out, leaving Kaguya embarrassed. Chika, ever the peacemaker, offers Kaguya some of her own lunch, effectively mending their friendship. In the end, Kaguya technically wins this round, as Miyuki retreats in defeat. During a school event, the announcer announces an exciting message from the student council. The crowd cheers as Kaguya Shinomiya, the vice president, steps forward. Kaguya is more than just a pretty face. She's the eldest daughter of the Shinomiya group, which controls over 1,000 subsidiaries. By her side is the student council president, Miyuki Shirogane. As Miyuki and Kaguya walk back after their speech, they look like a power couple, sparking whispers among the crowd. Many wonder if they're secretly dating. Later, Miyuki finally buys a smartphone. He even downloads Line, the popular messaging app, hoping it will make connecting with Kaguya easier. While he exchanges IDs with Chika, Miyuki secretly hopes Kaguya will ask for his number, but she holds back, leaving him frustrated. He thinks asking for her number would seem like a confession, and in his mind, the first to confess loses. Imagining his classmates gossiping about him liking Kaguya makes him decide not to ask. Meanwhile, Kaguya is fully aware of Miyuki's hesitation, and thus, their silent war over who will make the first move begins. Miyuki updates his profile picture to a childhood photo, which catches Kaguya's attention. Just as he's about to change it, Kaguya sweet-talks him into showing it to her. Embarrassed, Miyuki is saved when Chika reveals Kaguya's phone is outdated. Amid their conversation, Chika mentions summer plans, and the group starts planning a student council trip. Miyuki votes for the mountains, while Kaguya insists on the sea. As they argue, Chika drops a bombshell. She needs a new swimsuit due to her growing bust, which embarrasses Kaguya, who's self-conscious about her figure. In the end, Chika picks the mountains, though the location is a bit creepy, leaving both Kaguya and Miyuki disappointed. Meanwhile, Tsubasa, a fellow student, seeks Miyuki's advice on romance. Even though Miyuki has zero experience, he agrees to help, terrified his lack of knowledge will be exposed. Kaguya secretly listens in, curious about his thoughts on love. Tsubasa confesses he likes a girl named Nagisa, but fears rejection. After hearing that she gave him chocolates, Miyuki confidently claims Nagisa is interested interested in him. But when Tsubasa mentions Nagisa once talked about him being single, Miyuki spins it, saying Nagisa was probably hiding her feelings. Miyuki advises Tsubasa to ask Nagisa out directly. Tsubasa is thrilled, praising Miyuki as a love guru, and even joking that he's the only one who could win over Kaguya. Flustered, Miyuki denies any romance between him and Kaguya, listing things that annoy him about her. Unbeknownst to him, Kaguya is eavesdropping. Realizing she's there, Miyuki awkwardly backtracks, saying he secretly likes all her flaws. In the end, Tsubasa successfully asks Nagisa out, while Kaguya, though initially annoyed by Miyuki's comments, softens toward him for helping Tsubasa. The narrator reflects on love, suggesting that while confessing and being accepted seems wonderful, everything is wrong because love is a war, with the first to fall losing. A magazine titled Love Rivals is placed in front of Kaguya. She asks Miyuki about it, and he reveals the principal confiscated it from a student. Intrigued, Chika reads a bit and notes its lewd content, eventually throwing it away in disappointment over her country's direction. Miyuki, noticing Chika's panic, becomes curious. Kaguya picks up the magazine and finds a survey indicating that about 34% of high school students have had intimate experiences. Chika doubts this, explaining that in a class of 30, at least 10 would have done it. She believes the high percentage comes from survey participants who read such magazines. Miyuki agrees, pointing out sample selection bias, which leaves Chika flustered and Miyuki eager to read the magazine. Upon inspection, Kaguya claims the percentage is low compared to her expectations. When Chika asks Kaguya if she has had experiences, Kaguya admits she has, explaining that high school students often lack love and affection in their upbringing. Chika decides it's time for her to get a boyfriend. Meanwhile, Miyuki tries to ignore the conversation while studying, but wonders if he's too late to experience romance. Realizing he needs a girlfriend, he considers confessing to Kaguya. Kaguya, sensing an opportunity, asks Miyuki if he has a girlfriend. His unsure answer suggests he might have had one in the past, but he has never actually dated anyone. Despite attracting various girls, he only tends to draw dangerous people. This lack of romantic experience has ironically given Miyuki a strong self-confidence rooted in his popularity. Kaguya, curious about his experiences, asks if he has ever been intimate. Miyuki awkwardly tries to avoid answering. Kaguya responds by saying she has done it with her newborn nephew, even mentioning that it was recorded. Confused by her unusual comments, Miyuki asks what she thinks first time means, and she mistakenly says it refers to kissing. It becomes clear that her understanding of such topics is limited due to her upbringing. Chika then steps in to explain things to Kaguya, which surprises her. Kaguya becomes anxious, claiming that making love is only acceptable in marriage. Miyuki feels relieved to learn that Kaguya was only referring to kissing. Later that evening in the student council office, they discuss how Kaguya has changed since the school year began, and how Miyuki has come to understand her better. To test Miyuki's knowledge, Kaguya challenges him to a game of 20 questions. As they play, he suspects the answer might be himself, but correctly deduces it's a dog. With that, they finish their game for the day. Kaguya usually rides with her chauffeur, but when a cat gets stuck in the engine, she decides to walk to school. Despite her chauffeur's concerns, her valet Ai supports her choice. Remembering that Miyuki rides his bike, Kaguya plans to meet him at the bridge, but encounters a little girl named Mikiti instead. Nervous about crossing the street alone, Kaguya teams up with Mikiti. Their adventure begins when Miyuki arrives, teasing Kaguya for almost being late and offering her a ride on his bike. Kaguya performs a cat dance and asks Miyuki for his opinion. Chika instantly comments on how cute it looks, while Miyuki is exhilarated but tries to hide his infatuation with Kaguya, resulting in a look that scares Chika. Miyuki finds Kaguya incredibly cute and feels an urge to scream about it. Later, Kaguya questions the importance of cosplay for the welcome party, and Chika explains that, after Japan, France is the second most popular country for cosplay. She adds that it's a great way to break language barriers and build friendships. Chika then puts Miyuki in the spotlight, but he's trying to play it cool despite his crush on Kaguya. She, in turn, is struggling to keep it together as Miyuki's face lights up whenever she looks at him. Then, Kaguya surprises everyone by putting a pair of cat ears on Miyuki, and she can't help but smile. Miyuki, confused, asks about her grin, to which Kaguya responds that he looks great in the cat ears. Miyuki suspects Kaguya's compliment about how he looks in cat ears is sarcastic, thinking she means he looks so bad that he's not even human. Kaguya suggests taking a photo of him in the cat ears for posterity, claiming it will be saved for future generations. However, Miyuki views this as potential blackmail and refuses to be photographed. Despite his protests, Chika insists on including Kaguya in the shoot, and Miyuki realizes he can get a picture of Kaguya too. After some playful arguments, Chika confiscates the cat ears, leading to a humorous match where Chika ends up losing. With the welcome party coming up, Chika notes they need souvenir sweets, and Miyuki Miyuki hopes to get the task done with Kaguya. They decide to play a game of banned word to determine who will go. Chika starts rapping while Kaguya remains silent, but when Kaguya agrees to speak, Miyuki tries to gain the upper hand by asking Chika what she hates. Chika reveals her struggles with reading social cues, causing Kaguya to unwittingly say her banned word. Determined to win, Miyuki declares he'll get serious, only to lose when he says his own banned word. As a result, Chika wins the game, and Kaguya and Miyuki are tasked with getting the souvenir sweets. Later, Kaguya and her valet Ai discuss Kaguya's feelings for Miyuki, which she initially denies. Ai suggests calling Miyuki instead of texting, and when Kaguya does, she accidentally speaks to Miyuki's father, who is unkind. After clarifying her request, Miyuki answers from the bathtub, and they schedule to meet at 11 a.m. at Hachiko the next day. Just as Kaguya thinks the call is over, Miyuki begins to say something else. Flustered by her mistake, Miyuki texts Kaguya what he meant to say, leading to her victory in their game. The next day, heavy rain forces Kaguya to cancel their plans, which takes her 30 minutes to text. Meanwhile, Miyuki waits at their meeting spot, feeling victorious. At the welcome party, the principal congratulates the student council. When Miyuki asks Kaguya if she speaks French, she admits she doesn't, but claims he does after reading a book. A French student approaches, and Miyuki struggles to communicate. To his surprise, Kaguya fluently converses with her, leaving him amazed. He learns that Chika can speak French too, thanks to her mother's background. Then, Betsy, a confident student, challenges Miyuki in French, but he's lost. Kaguya steps in, impressing everyone and leaving Betsy stunned. Afterward, Miyuki thanks Kaguya for her support. The academy's uniforms get a makeover, and Chika loves the comfy short sleeves. Meanwhile, Kaguya can't help but notice Chika's assets. Later, Nagisa visits Kaguya for love advice, trusting her to help with her romantic woes. Kaguya, ready to play Dr. Love, learns that Nagisa wants to break up with her boyfriend, Tsubasa, which surprises her. Nagisa explains that she agreed to date Tsubasa after a sudden confession, but now feels distant from him and unsure about their relationship. Kaguya asks if Nagisa hates Tsubasa, but she doesn't. She's just confused about her feelings. To help Nagisa, Kaguya asks about Tsubasa's positive traits, recalling Miyuki's qualities. Kaguya mentions that a threatening look can be cute, trying to retract her flustered comment. She emphasizes focusing on positive traits to develop love, claiming it's advice from someone else, not her own experience. However, it's clear Miyuki is on her mind. Just then, Chika bursts in, joining the conversation. Chika enters the room and asks Nagisa if she truly doesn't love Tsubasa anymore. She prompts Nagisa to imagine Tsubasa with another woman, and Kaguya does the same, picturing Chika with Miyuki, which angers her. Both girls react gloomily. Chika claims that the deeper the emotional jealousy, the greater the love. She encourages Nagisa to cherish her feelings for Tsubasa. Nagisa realizes she loves him, admitting she thought she was cold for not liking someone who confessed to her. Kaguya, wanting to contribute, introduces the Romeo and Juliet effect, explaining how obstacles can deepen love. Confused about the concept of a powerful enemy, Kaguya clarifies that it doesn't have to be a person. It can be an imaginary one. Chika chimes in that society itself is their enemy, citing issues like economic disparity. Kaguya, however, meant more trivial concerns like exams. Inspired by Chika, Nagisa rushes off to confront Tsubasa. Chika reassures Kaguya that everything will be fine. This is proven true when Tsubasa and Nagisa are seen collecting donations with 3 kids, while Miyuki helps out. Meanwhile, in the gymnasium, Miyuki struggles to practice a volleyball spike, lacking coordination despite his academic prowess. Chika approaches him, surprising him as she reveals she left something behind. Miyuki, worried about his secret being discovered, feels her opinion won't damage his reputation. When Chika finds Miyuki practicing volleyball, she offers to help him after impressing him with a strong serve. As they start, Chika notices that Miyuki keeps failing at his serves, realizing he's serving with his eyes closed. They embark on a rigorous 4-day training routine, and after much practice, Miyuki finally nails his serve. With that goal achieved, they set their sights on learning how to toss and receive. A week later, during a match, Miyuki showcases his newfound skills, impressing Chika as they secure a victory together. Meanwhile, it's raining outside, and after finishing their tasks, Kaguya decides to walk home. She and Miyuki playfully bluff about not having umbrellas, turning it into a game of trying to expose each other's lies. During this back and forth, Kaguya reveals she sabotaged her car ride to gain the upper hand on Miyuki. Just as she's about to go in for the win, Chika arrives and hands Kaguya her forgotten umbrella. Mortified by her failed plan, Kaguya offers the umbrella to Miyuki, who initially refuses. They eventually compromise, holding the umbrella together. The outcome of their playful match ends in a tie. Meet Yu, the student council treasurer, a behind-the-scenes MVP whose skills are essential to the team. Miyuki relies on him for crunching numbers, but then Yu drops a bombshell. He wants to quit. Miyuki's initially cool but internally panicking. He pleads with Yu to stay, claiming they'll all fail without him. Yu is a data processing whiz, so much so that he was scouted as a first year to join the council. Although he typically works from home and only attends briefing meetings, he's considered the best accountant they've ever had. However, Yu believes he's in danger. Specifically, he thinks Kaguya wants to kill him. He explains that he can read people's true nature through their eyes, and claims Kaguya's gaze is terrifying. Miyuki, curious, presses for details. Yu recounts an incident from a month ago when he unintentionally ruined one of Kaguya's plans. Kaguya had invited Miyuki to a coffee shop, and while Yu was in the council room, he found hidden tickets to that cafe. When Kaguya realized this, she warned Yu not to tell anyone about the tickets. Later, when Yu asked Kaguya if she liked Miyuki, she vehemently denied it, leaving Yu to drop the awkward truth that Kaguya isn't into him. Things escalate when Yu mentions Kaguya has been giving Chika some serious side-eye, suggesting Kaguya might be in trouble. Just then, Kaguya enters, looking like she stepped out of a horror film, covered in blood and holding a knife, ready to confront Yu. Yu is in full-on freak-out mode, convinced that Kaguya might take him out Hitman style. It feels like a twisted game of cat and mouse, but Miyuki thinks Yu's overreacting. Kaguya was just playing a prank while helping the drama club, but the guys remain skeptical. Suddenly, Chika bursts in, looking like a bloody mess with a knife in her chest. Another prank. Despite the chaotic scene, Yu suspects it's another trap set by Kaguya. Miyuki reassures him to trust his comrades. Kaguya thanks Yu for keeping her secret, but warns him not to resign. Despite his fear of her, Yu ends up losing their little match. Chika then pulls out a personality test book from the library, which piques Kaguya's interest. The first question reveals that Miyuki wants 9 kids, and as the test continues, Kaguya prepares herself for Chika's antics. When the question about love comes up, Yu mistakenly answers Kaguya, who misinterprets this as romantic interest. Miyuki, on the other hand, answers that he's a siscon, disconcerting everyone. Yu decides to leave for the day and plans a hospital visit. Tired of the previous questions, Chika throws a wild card from the internet into the mix. The final question asks how many flowers one would give their beloved. Kaguya responds with a bouquet, while Miyuki impulsively declares a truckload. The day ends with Miyuki's loss. Later, Ai visits Kaguya in the student council room, chastising her for being there alone, but claiming it shows power since they're both from high society. Kaguya, convinced, gets her nails done by Ai and wonders if Miyuki will notice them. When they're back in the council room, Kaguya tries to flaunt her nails, but Miyuki acts oblivious, frustrating her. Internally, he's shocked by her fashionable look, but fears complimenting her might be seen as harassment. Yu's keen nose catches the scent of Chika's new conditioner, which he compares to a baby's. Chika, annoyed, tells him to leave before she loses it. Miyuki is shaken by Chika's harsh response. After school, Kaguya tries to make a run for it, but Miyuki stops her, stumbling over a compliment about her nails and failing spectacularly. Kaguya ends up taking the win for the day. Later, Miyuki and Yu discuss school club activities. Yu complains about the caste system in clubs, prompting Miyuki to shift the focus to budget cuts, which unfairly target clubs with more girls. Miyuki suggests Yu join a club, but after making a snide remark about Kaguya's club, Yu gets reprimanded by Chika and Kaguya before leaving, feeling defeated. With Yu gone, Chika asks for a budget increase for her club, but Miyuki refuses. Chika then tries to persuade him to join her club, leading to a playful argument with Kaguya. Ultimately, Miyuki comes out on top. Chika shares a funny story about her dog Pes, leading to giggles when Kaguya hears the word wiener. Despite trying to keep a straight face, Kaguya can't help but crack up. When Miyuki arrives, Chika promises not to say the trigger word, but then hints at it without speaking. Chika eventually spills the beans, shocking Miyuki, who bolts, thinking they're both nymphomaniacs. In the end, Chika wins this round, leaving Miyuki forever scarred by the encounter. Shuchiin Middle School is just a stone's throw from Shuchiin Academy, leading many middle schoolers to pop into the alumni office and, occasionally, the student council room. On this day, Kaguya is on door duty when a cute girl, Shirogane, drops by. Kaguya is immediately charmed but realizes she can't just blurt out how adorable she is. After all, nobody wants to feel creeped out during a casual visit. Kaguya recalls that Kei is rumored to be Miyuki's little sister, noting the family resemblance in their threatening eyes and expressions. She warmly welcomes Kei, informing her that Miyuki is in a meeting with club leaders about budgets. Kei mentions a rumor about Miyuki being impolite to the leaders, making his life difficult in Japan, but Kaguya assures her it's exaggerated and explains that Miyuki's father was transferred for work. Worried for her brother's well-being, Kei finds reassurance in Kaguya's promise to protect him. The narrator chimes in, emphasizing that to get close to someone, one must first connect with their circle. Kaguya decides to make Kei call her big sister to deepen their bond. When Kaguya asks why Kei is visiting, she learns Kei needs help reviewing paperwork for her student council. Seizing the opportunity to impress, Kaguya offers her assistance, stating that she can do much more than she appears. The narrator notes that Kaguya is trying to project an image of competence to earn Kei's respect. Kaguya is trying to play the role of an older sister to Kei Shirogane, but Yu steps in to critique Kei's paperwork instead. He points out correct calculations but notes issues with the commas and layout. Kaguya realizes that trying to be a competent woman might create distance between them and shifts her focus to developing a friendship with Kei. Imagining a closer relationship, Kaguya offers Kei a drink just as Chika arrives. The two strike a special friendship pose, prompting Kaguya to ask if they know each other. Chika reveals they are friends because Kei is close with her sister, Mo, and they sometimes have sleepovers. Kaguya feels dejected, especially when Kei calls Chika Big Sis. When Kei and Chika plan a shopping trip together, Kaguya becomes vengeful, thinking Chika always steals her friends. However, when Chika invites Kaguya to join them, Kaguya's perspective shifts, and she decides she wants to befriend Chika. Later, Kei tells Miyuki about her day, admitting she felt uneasy around Kaguya. As finals approach, Kaguya and Miyuki engage in a bluffing battle about studying. In the end, Miyuki remains the top student, while Yu is at risk of being held back due to poor grades. To save face, Kaguya forces Yu to study with her, despite his attempts to escape, fearing her methods. In the supply room, Kaguya realizes Yu has serious brain power in key subjects and suggests they study together. By the 5th day in the library, Yu starts to warm up to Kaguya, but then she reveals he barely passed the exam with a score of 42%, which drags down their team. It looks like Miyuki takes the loss this round due to Yu's academic struggles. A flash of thunder sends Chika into a panic, convinced the god of thunder will steal her belly button. Miyuki, bewildered, questions her fear, to which Chika responds that the thunder was too sudden and admits she has grown to dislike loud sounds. He suggests she cover her ears, but Chika insists that the belly button theft is a logical phenomenon, leaving Miyuki confused. Miyuki checks his phone and discovers that all local trains are halted due to a typhoon. Realizing this is bad news, Kaguya urges him to call home for help, but unfortunately, Miyuki's family lacks a car. Kaguya seizes this chance for a driving date with him, envisioning the intimacy of shared space, pleasant FM radio tunes, and meaningful conversation, though her driver will be present, keeping things platonic. Kaguya thinks it would be awkward for her to invite Miyuki home, yet she can't leave him stranded without transportation. Just then, Chika mentions her taxi is on the way, prompting Miyuki to murmur, "He's in trouble." Chika asks if Miyuki has a way home, and Kaguya reluctantly confirms he doesn't. In a moment of desperation, Chika offers to drive Miyuki home, but Kaguya quickly intervenes, feigning concern over the lightning and covering Chika's ears and eyes to prevent her from ruining Kaguya's plans. Kaguya escorts Chika outside to her taxi, returning to the student council room feeling relieved to be rid of the distraction. Alone with Miyuki, she brainstorms ways to encourage him to ask her for a ride home. She emphasizes the urgency of his part-time job, warning him that he could be disqualified as a working adult if he misses his shift due to the typhoon. Kaguya gives Miyuki two options: call an expensive taxi or ask someone for a ride. Just then, she discovers the trains are running again, which disappoints her. Determined to thwart Miyuki, she employs her first anti-Shirogane measure, a dead rechargeable battery. In under a minute, she replaces it just before Miyuki arrives, breathing heavily. When he notices, she lies, claiming she was exercising. Miyuki finds his phone dead and asks to borrow Kaguya's when it rings. She suddenly rushes off, saying her car is here. Outside, Kaguya revels in her victory until Ai interrupts, questioning how she'll get home if her plan succeeds. Kaguya brushes her off, saying she can walk, while Ai warns her about impending karma. As Miyuki bikes to work, he splashes Kaguya with water. The next day, Kaguya wakes up sick, and Ai tells her she knew this would happen. Ai plans to skip school to care for her, but Kaguya begs her to stay. Meanwhile, at the student council, Miyuki announces he bought a new battery. When he suggests sending someone to deliver handouts to Kaguya, Chika volunteers, saying she knows how to care for the sick. As the others argue over who should go, Chika proposes a game of concentration. Ultimately, Miyuki visits Kaguya, who unexpectedly pulls him onto her bed and they fall asleep together. The next morning, Kaguya wakes up, pushes him out of bed, and forgets everything from the night before. Ai checks in, ensuring nothing inappropriate happened. Enter Miyuki and Kaguya, locked in a battle over the last slice of strawberry shortcake, with Yu caught in the crossfire, trembling and feeling guilty. This chaos stems from two incidents, creating a powder keg over cake. The first incident is Miyuki climbing into Kaguya's bed while she is half-conscious, resulting in them sleeping next to each other for hours until Kaguya wakes up, confused and furious. An investigation clears Miyuki of wrongdoing, and while they reconcile, grudges linger. Kaguya feels Miyuki exploits her weakness while sick, unsure of his true intentions. If he is naughty, it fuels her anger, but if not, that also bothers her. Miyuki, meanwhile, feels falsely accused, thinking Kaguya pulls him into the bed without realizing how hard it is to resist. Their accumulated animosity explodes in the cake incident. Earlier, Yu spots two pieces of cake and asks Miyuki about them. Miyuki explains that the principal sends them as a gift and offers one to Yu, who eats it. Later, Miyuki discovers the principal has only sent two pieces. Disheartened, he notes that the principal should consider the student council's size. Kaguya reveals she and Miyuki are usually the only ones in the office, which diminishes Yu's appetite. Keep munching, Miyuki urges, claiming he isn't in the mood for cake. Kaguya, sweetly offering her slice, plays it cool, but Miyuki refuses. Thus begins a classic standoff, with both trying to out-polite each other over the last slice. Who will emerge victorious? Only time will tell. Their ridiculous arguments make it hard to even follow what they are discussing. Frustrated, Yu leaves to find Chika, hoping she can mediate. In his absence, Kaguya and Miyuki continue their circular argument. Kaguya questions Miyuki's stubbornness, while he points out her own. He recalls a time when he asks Kaguya about her hobbies. She claims to have none, asking how it is his business. Miyuki then notes her lifeless eyes, wondering if she has something she likes. Kaguya finally admits she enjoys shortcake, but then angrily asks how he remembers something from so long ago. She mentions a conversation from last year about Christmas, where Miyuki reveals he will be working. Kaguya feels sad hearing this and wants him to enjoy the cake since he's never tasted it. She offers to feed him, and they debate who will feed whom until they agree to eat simultaneously. Just as they prepare to feed each other, Chika bursts in and eats the cake herself, scolding them for fighting and threatening to confiscate the dessert. Consequently, both Kaguya and Miyuki lose this round. Later, Kaguya seeks advice from Nagisa about dealing with the opposite sex after a fight, while Miyuki asks Yu for similar guidance. Yu, lacking romantic experience but well-versed in rom-coms, tells them neither is at fault. They cross paths in the hallway and, in their own way, reconcile, leading to a win for both. Meanwhile, Chika and her sisters return to Japan from their world trip. In a local ramen shop, a man named Saburo Odajima introduces himself in an internal monologue. He orders the most inconspicuous ramen, which is actually the shop's optimal combination. Chika arrives and orders the same dish, astonishing Saburo. However, his impression of her being like him is quickly shattered when he notices the type of noodles she prefers. As Saburo scrutinizes his ramen, he watches Chika eat her bowl in a unique style called mini ramen. This revelation leads him to realize that Chika intentionally ordered her dish to maximize its taste, inspiring him to believe she might be on par with the 4 ramen emperors. He congratulates her with a thumbs up, leaving her perplexed. Meanwhile, Miyuki laments his dull summer vacation, realizing he hasn't contacted Kaguya, who feels the same way. Kaguya is excited about the summer festival, feeling unusually forgiving towards Chika, who canceled her vacation plans to hang out with her. For Kaguya, this is special because she's going with Miyuki for the first time, making it feel like a dream come true. However, one of Kaguya's guardians forbids her from leaving due to her recent behavior, leaving her frustrated. Unable to attend, Kaguya vents her feelings on Twitter, which Chika and Miyuki read. Lying on her bed, Kaguya regrets knowing about the summer vacation, wishing it could be just another boring summer. Despite her struggles, she convinces herself that everything will return to normal once summer ends. Miyuki, hearing about Kaguya, decides to bike over to her house. Meanwhile, Ai finds Kaguya sulking and encourages her to stop moping around. Kaguya expresses her hurt over her father's indifference and Miyuki's silence over the past month. Realizing Kaguya's emotional state, Ai reassures her that their love will deepen with distance and proposes a plan to help Kaguya escape. As Kaguya hops into a taxi for the festival, Miyuki arrives and sees Ai pretending to be Kaguya. Understanding the situation, he heads to the festival himself. Meanwhile, Yu breaks away from Chika to find Kaguya. However, Kaguya's taxi gets stuck in traffic, and despite her decision to walk the rest of the way, she ultimately misses the fireworks. Disheartened and hopeless, Kaguya watches a glimpse of fireworks between the buildings, wishing she could have seen them with her friends. Despite her pain, she finds solace in the thought of others enjoying the spectacle. Overwhelmed with emotion, she begins to sob, longing for the experience. Just then, Miyuki finds her and promises to show her the fireworks. He takes her to reunite with Chika and Yu, who have secured a cab. As they pile into the taxi, Chika questions if they can make it to Chiba in 20 minutes. Although uncertain, Miyuki is determined to make it happen. The taxi driver, with a grin, promises to speed up, leaving Yu curious about his cool demeanor. While passing through an underwater tunnel, Chika comments on the darkness outside. As they exit the tunnel, the fireworks begin, and the group watches in awe. But Kaguya's focus is solely on Miyuki, her heart racing. When school resumes, Miyuki regrets his cringy behavior during the reunion, fearing Kaguya will call him out on it. Meanwhile, Kaguya plays it cool, avoiding him, which makes Miyuki think she's upset about missing the fireworks. They both try to initiate conversations but fail, leading to Yu and Chika being expelled from the room. Finally alone, Kaguya and Miyuki bump into each other, but their conversation is cut short when Miyuki misinterprets Kaguya's words, leaving him flustered. Kaguya, determined, chases after him,